So you guys want to learn how to make it? Let's go. So what you guys think? Was it good? I hope it's good. Anyway, I saw this effects on this guy Instagram. I had to pull it up because I don't know his name. It's Dimitri, something like that. I put it on the screen somewhere, and he has some cool videos on his Instagram page. I would highly suggest you guys to check it out. And so as soon as I saw these effects, I was like, I think I could do it, you know. So I just sit down and break it down every single clip, figure out how he made the effects, and so that how I come up with this tutorial. Before we get into it, I did film a little bit behind the scene because I feel like that is the most important part in order to sell these effects flawlessly. Okay, let's go to behind the scene. Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to the channel. So before we got into the editing part, I just want to show you guys how I filmed it because I think it played an important role to sell these effects. Let's go. Okay, so the very first thing that I did is to actually frame myself. That's important because you want to be in frames. So that's where I set up my cameras in my bathroom, and this is my clothing racks that I have. It's a little short, so I want to make sure that I position it in a way that it has a regular height to it. The second thing is mark where you stand because you're going to film it multiple times and you want to make sure that you stay in the same positions all the time. So in the post, it's easier for you to mask everything. And for me, I just have all my clothes on the sides right here, what I want to change it to. The thing is, you want to pre-plan all the clothes that you want to wear, so it's easier when you get it rolling. And I think to me this is one of the most important part for this entire effects to work flawlessly. The first thing is you know what clothes you want to change to, right? So you want to walk in and then you stand in your spot. You want to position your arms in a way that is above the racks. So in the post it's easier to mask everything, but at the same time you want to remember where you position your arms the entire time. For example, I'm walking in, go to my clothes one time and I stare at it and then pause, then I go and change my clothes. I come back. Before I move these clothes over, I want to have my arms up again, picture in my positions, and then look at the shirt, come back here and move my jacket. It is important to have your head tilted and look at the previous shirt. It's make it flow better, and this is how you sell this effect. You want to make sure it's everything looking like a one motion. So you kind of want to repeat it over and over again. I don't know how many clothes you want to like change it to, but this is the basics of how you shoot it. And yeah, if you want to film like 10 different clothes, just change it 10 different times. So to recap everything, three most important thing is number one, make sure you stand in the marked position that you put on the floor. Second one is to make sure your arms above the racks at all time. And the third one is to make sure that you tilt your heads and look at the previous shirt that you just moved from left to right. And pause about 1 or 2 seconds between shots. It's help in the post when you edit it. And yeah, I think that is everything, and let's get into the edit. What's up guys, welcome to the editing portions of this video. So today I'm going to use two different programs. One of them is Final Cut and one of them is After Effects. I'm going to use Final Cut to cut all the clips that I need for masking, because when I shot this video I shot everything in one take and I don't want to bring the entire thing into After Effects. So it's easier for me to cut the clip that I needed and export it out and import it into After Effects. So here's my Final Cut Pro timeline. I just cut all the clips that I needed for masking in After Effects, and when you're done, select all your clips. You just highlight all of them and go to Smart Collections, All Video, and it's all on here. So I just highlight all of them, File, Share, Master File, and Settings, choose Video and Audio, or you can just export as video if you don't have any audio. You can use different codecs. For me, I just use 422. It's good enough for me and it doesn't eat up a lot of space in my hard drive. Or you can use different codecs if you have, I guess, more hard drive. But to me, it doesn't make a lot of difference, and 422 is work for me. Click that and export to your preferred locations. And now let's go to After Effects timeline. So here is my After Effects projects. I already make everything, so this is my composition, but let's just make a fresh new one just for the example. So go to compositions, new comp, 4K, blah blah blah, and I'm going to make this 1 minute long. However long you want to make is up to you. Let's call this comp. So now I'm getting my clips. Let's put it down here, and I'm going to duplicate it. The reason I'm going to duplicate it because I'm going to start masking here, and I want to be able to see what's on the right side of it. So I'm just put this out, press T to bring the opacity up, and just change it to, I don't know, 50%. It's right here, and just grab a pen tool and draw it along the shirt you want to mask. So for this, I'm just going to like roughly do it. And here's the reason why I want to have an extra clips at the bottom, so I can see what's on the right side. If I just turn this off, it's all blacks, and it's just easier to have like a background to see when you do the masking. So if you guys already know the basics of pen tools and masking and everything, you can go ahead and fast forward and skip this part, because I do have little tips on troubleshoot on some of the shots that did not work really well when you're masking. It's kind of interfering with another clips. It's really hard to explain, but I'm going to show you in a little bit after I finish with this. So go back to masking. So for those who don't know much about pen tools and masking in After Effects, I'm pretty sure you could find a lot of tutorials on YouTube how to use it, but we already here, so I'm going to demonstrate you I guess a little bit on how to use it. So you have mask right here, and you're going to keyframes on the path. That's where you have feathers at the bottom to blend the edge of the masking points and the clips, and the opacities and the expansion. So this one, if you expand it out, you can see the little shadows right there, and same thing with these, so you can blur out the edge of the masking part. So 0, 0, go back to it. And for the laptop user, you have to click functions and arrows down to move each frame, and I don't like it at all because I had to use 2 hands to move every single frames, and it's annoying. For me, I do have my monitors over there and I have my keyboard, so that's what I use, page ups and page down to move each frames in After Effects. Also, I want to give some tip for, I guess, a new user to After Effects. If you happen to see this, all these anchor points is all fill up, you'll be able to move all of them at once. But if you don't know how to get out of it, you just click out of the mask path, and now you'll be able to select every single anchor points and move it again. And so if you look at this anchor point, you'll be able to see these 2 lines right here where you'll be able to move and bend the line, and some of them doesn't have it. And if you want to create this vertex, you can just go to pen tools and hold it and select convert vertex tools and just click on it, and you'll be able to convert it and move it around. So yeah, so I'm not going to sit here and mask everything again because I already done it countless times for this video. So now I'm gonna go to my actual project so I can show you some other stuff. Alright, so I just copied 2 clips into my compositions, and you can see it right here. And so this is just the background. Like I showed you earlier, if you turn these things off, you can see that this part here is black because we mask it out. So you turn it back on, and if you click U is where you can just view your keyframe. So just zoom it in, and I cut it off roughly right around where I want the mask to move. Put the second clips that I want to show underneath my keyframes, right underneath that, so you can see first clips and second clips. And you always want the clips that you mask above the next clips that you're going to put in the timeline. So, and it's pretty much just repeat the same thing over and over again. It's depending on how many close changing you want to do. And here's want to show you guys a little bit of the masking to this part. So this is the second clip, and let's go to the end. So if you look right here, after I pass my bodies right here, I'm not too worried about these sections of the masking. I'm just worried about these parts right here, and the reason is it's take less time and it's not going to affect the next clips that come after these clips. Okay, so it's pretty much just the repetitions of every single clip. You had to mask it over and over again until you get to the very last clips. However, this is the parts that I talked about earlier that I have issue masking because of the movements of the clothes that is not in the same spot. If you look at the clips number 4, it's at where I mask. If I turn these things off and off, should be this one too. Now you can see it's right here. I masked the jacket, but let me drag this out. If I turn on the clips, the very last clips, you can see this jacket's not land at the same spot. So what I figured to fix it is to duplicate the very last clips, and I just mask out the spot that I have an issue with the jackets, and just bring this back right here. And now you can see the black part. This is where I masked it out. So to bring back this part right here, I actually just copied the very first clips when there's nobody's on it. Like it's right here, there's nobody's in the frame. I just copy it and bring it over to the part where the jacket's about to go by. So, and if I just turn this on, it fill up these entire sections. And if you play the clips frame by frame, you actually can see the jackets bounce back to the positions that I have on the very last clip. So I just have real transitions right here, and I just cut where the spot is perfectly landed together, and just cut and transition to the very last clips. There you go. Alright guys, so that is all for the video. I know it's a little complicated, and I hope you guys learn something from it. I try my best to explain to you guys how everything's work, and it's difficult for me because I'm pretty new to doing tutorials and stuff. So if you guys have any questions about this video, about this effects at all, just comment below and I would love to answer all your questions. I wish there is a better way to do it. Maybe there is a better way to do it, but this is just how I figured that how the effects was made when I saw the video from those guys. I guess for people who know how to use pen tools and maskings in Photoshop, you pretty much know how to do all this stuff. It's just about patience because you have to keyframes every single one of them. It's pretty repetitive and super basic when you break everything down. But yeah, so if you, like I say, if you have any questions at all, just comment down below and I will gladly answer all your questions. And follow me on Instagram because that is where I'm most active. And yeah, other than that, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.